Quintain, and thank you very much for that. And it's been a real pleasure working with the RIBA over the last 2 years. My name's Pooran Desai. I'm one of the founders of BioRegional. And I'd like to say good morning to you all. So thank you very much for coming here today. And thank you very much to Fulcrum Consulting, who are kindly sponsoring this first session. I just wanted to start with an image taken from the space shuttle, image of Earth, of course, but what I wanted to try and find was an image which demonstrates how fragile our atmosphere is. We often think of it as a bubble around us, but in fact, it's only, the breathable atmosphere is no more than 3 miles thick. So, you know, our commute in from BedZ to here this morning was something like 5 times further than if we'd traveled vertically, you know, to somewhere where we couldn't actually survive. So it's a very thin, fragile film. It's not some great bubble. And I've had the pleasure of doing spending some time with James Lovelock over the past 6 months, who, of course, was the originator of the Gaia hypothesis. And even though I'd read his books, actually meeting him and talking to him really made me realize just how much of a living organism that film that covers this planet is. And it has been created by organisms over the last few billion years, and it's continued survival, and survival for us as a species, possibly, or certainly for the majority of human beings on this planet, is still dependent on maintaining its integrity. So we need to keep it as a living film of which we are part. An image, perhaps, which is much overused now, a polar bear apparently drowning. I'm not sure this is drowning, actually, but nonetheless, the ice caps are melting, and we've lost something like 40% of the thickness of the Arctic ice sheet. But why should we worry about polar bears? Well, I still think the best reason given was from Russell Brand. I don't know if any of you heard this, but he said, look, if they're homeless, they'll be over here, they'll be nicking our jobs and nicking our women. So we should keep the ice caps intact, at least for that reason. But in these days of economic doom and gloom, there are some hopeful signs. I think we'll hear from B&Q a bit later how sales of loft insulation are going through the roof. Now, I did actually want to be a stand-up comedian, and when I told my careers master this, he laughed, but he wouldn't be laughing now. That was a Bob Monkhouse line. But anyway, enough of that. This session is going to look at how we can create a more sustainable future, how we in the UK, with our projects here, can learn from international best practice, how we can also inform international best practice and start getting that interchange of information. And we're going to look at how perhaps we can create some cost-effective solutions to sustainable communities. Our own experience here in the UK as developers, as BioRegional Quintain, is starting to show how that can be a reality in the UK, but we need to learn also from international best practice, and particularly perhaps how we can start integrating our communities into local ecosystems and local economies. And I think as we move into the future, we will see as much emphasis in terms of creating local economic systems as we will global systems, and a balance between the two is going to be essential for us. So perhaps I can invite our first case study, Jeff Cyphers from Codding Enterprises, to come up and tell us about his experiences. So thank you very much.